Welcome to Lancaster Community Television Station. My name is Ethan. I'm here with Ricky Hernandez, Conestoga Valley Alumni, Westchester University alumni, and of course, St. Joe alumni. How you doing, Ricky?
Great, Ethan. How's it going?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad you made time out of your busy schedule, working from home, take care of your family. Let's talk about your education at Conestoga Valley High School, where you were a three-sport star: football, basketball, track, and basically you got a big recruiting offer. Let's talk about the education and also the sports.
I wouldn't say I was a star per se. I was on some really good teams and just fortunate to be able to contribute as best I could, in all of those sports. Played football and basketball all 4 years, and then track my last 2 years of high school, and then played football at Westchester University, and then following graduation went to St. Joe's in Philly and got my master's from St. Joe's.
Yeah, I remember watching you on Football Friday, man. You and Jordan, like y'all had a special connection going on. He would throw you the deep ball, you'd catch it over the receivers, he'd throw you the slant, he'd throw you the screen. But y'all had a bond beyond football. In sports, y'all had a bond that was on a best friend level. And the education part, I'm pretty sure Coach Novak was instituting that in everyone to do their best in this classroom. Therefore, you can succeed in life. And about learning life skills and also learning how to become a man. And speaking of Jordan Steffi, you and him played on the same AAU team. He was his go-to receiver, and you help him out with his nonprofit. May you describe that relationship you had with Jordan Steffi?
The relationship I had, and still have with Jordan until this day, is that of a brother. Growing up, when I moved here from New York to Lancaster, I went to Manheim Township for a little bit, and then in the 8th grade, I transferred to Conestoga Valley. And Jordan and I just, immediately clicked. We bonded. And then spent the majority of our high school, days together. Whether we were playing sports, we both played football, basketball, and he ended up running track. And then, in the off season, whether it's in the weight room training for football, whether it's AAU in the summertime, different camps and things like that, we just spent a lot of time together and could probably finish one another's sentence. Oftentimes. So I think that trust and relationship transferred onto the football field, onto the basketball court, and it was just, a good thing. I was fortunate to play alongside such a great athlete, such as Jordan, and he had a ton of weapons on the football field. C.J. Lapp, Stephon Smalls, Anthony Beard. I know I'm forgetting guys, I'm sure, so I apologize about that. But, he had a ton of weapons, and, he did a great job of leading and being a captain on the teams he was on.
Yeah, I definitely saw him on Football Friday. I also saw him playing at the University of Maryland. And then he made his transition from college student athlete to nonprofit organization where he's helping out the inner city youth prepare for SAT, visit colleges, but more importantly, learning the skills to overcome any adversity and take away all the excuses out of the person's pocket and plant healthy seeds. Education is key to success. Education is shown to show people get to not only get to succeed in life, they also get to have a career and be a productive member of society. For you, you graduated from 2 colleges, Westchester University and St. Joe's University. You're the first in your family to do that. May you explain about that journey of going to college?
Growing up, when I was in high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I'm a first generation college graduate, and I just looked at my peers, and many of them were going off to college, and they came from good families, good backgrounds, and I'm fortunate that both my parents were in my life. They have been married now for well over 20 years, And I just had some good examples of what hard work looks like. So I just looked at those individuals around me and figured out, like, okay, education is going to be the separator that's going to allow me to take that next step, you know, and go that much more further and take what my parents have given me and you know, go beyond that. So went to Westchester, you know, wasn't the best student, but I was someone that was just really willing to work hard and put in the work to do what was necessary. And it wasn't easy. My first semester, I was on academic probation. You know, I'll never forget that, coming home over Christmas break and just getting that letter in the mail. And, you know, it's around Christmas time, it's the holidays, like, you know, you're supposed to be happy and cheerful. And I was just in my room, miserable. And, you know, I just felt like I was letting my family down. And from that point forward, you know, I was far more disciplined and focused on my studies and, you know, was able to graduate. Following graduation, I thought I was going to take some time off, you know, and just go right into the workforce and put graduate school, you know, sort of on the back burner and do it, you know, down the road. But, you know, my best friend, Jordan Steffi, he had already gotten his master's degree and was instrumental in encouraging me to do it immediately. That way, life doesn't happen and, you know, prevent you from being able to do it down the road. And I was able to get into the leadership development program at Johns Hopkins and graduated there in 2 years. And I also wanted to push the envelope and show my younger sister, you know, that these things are attainable, right? I think oftentimes as, you know, individuals, it's hard to achieve things that people around you aren't doing or that you don't know someone who's achieved that level of success. So it was very important to me and intentional that I set the example for my younger sister so that she knew, you know, you can go to college and graduate. You can go and get your master's degree, you know, if you work hard and are just disciplined and diligent. So she played a large role in me pushing the education envelope as much as I have.
Yeah, when you have a younger sibling, it's up to you to set the bar high, set the example, but also show what it's like to cross the finish line, not one time, but multiple times in pursuing a college education. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed plenty of celebrations with your family members, and I'm pretty sure that probationary period was a wake-up call, and you took it very serious, and more importantly, you decided to step your game up and be more productive with your time. And then eventually you came out with 2 college degrees. Now you had an interest in coaching. Maybe tell me about that transition of coaching where you were doing all the stuff in the groundwork, all the stuff behind the scenes, and now you're at Johns Hopkins University basketball program.
My senior year of college, that was when Barack Obama was elected into office. And that moment in time changed my life. You know, I always loved basketball and had a passion for basketball, but coaching never was something that, coaching collegiately was never something that came into my mind as a real possibility. You know, when you turn on the television, especially, you know, 15 years ago, there weren't many black head coaches or you know, coaches in general, or Hispanic, you know, head coaches being biracial. So it never really was something that crossed my mind as something that was a real possibility. But I'll never forget when Barack Obama got elected, you know, regardless of politics, the fact that, you know, a black man was the president of the United States, I thought to myself that if he can achieve that, then coaching collegiate basketball pales in comparison. So from that day forward, you know, all of my actions aligned with me, you know, pursuing and chasing my goal and dream to become a college, head coach. I've had some great mentors along the way. Doug Kraft is the one who got my foot into the collegiate door. He worked with and knows Coach Jeff Wilson up at East Stroudsburg very well, and he connected me to Coach Wilson. Coach Wilson gave me an opportunity, first as a volunteer, and during that time it wasn't easy. I worked overnights at Great Wolf Lodge in Stroudsburg, which is a resort, in the laundry room. I worked overnight, super morning shift, like 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. at UPS during the holidays. That's one of the more challenging jobs, that I've ever had. So I did that as the volunteer for a year, then was able to become the graduate assistant. That turned into an assistant at Moravian College, where we went to consecutive conference championships, winning one of the two. Then that turned into me going to Johns Hopkins. And, my 2 years there, we've gone to consecutive conference championships, winning one of the two, being, this last season, we won the conference championship against the number 1 ranked team in the country. So that was a really big accomplishment.
How you got your opportunity with coaching is very instrumental into who you became the man today. The sacrifices, the commitment, the willpower, and more importantly, your dedication to do it all year round. Because one thing for someone to help you get your foot in the door, but it's another thing to make sure you keep your whole body in the door and continue to blossom. And speaking of blossoming, the support of your family, your coaches, and the community helped you become the man you are today. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think it all starts, at home. Like I mentioned before, I'm, blessed that my parents, showed me unconditional love, made sure their kids didn't want for anything, and they sacrificed. And as I got older, I was able to witness that, or not witness, but comprehend that. When I was younger, I didn't really understand. I wanted this, I wanted that, and, they sacrificed themselves, to make sure that their children didn't want for anything. And they were blue-collar, hard-working, selfless individuals that, just showed their kids unconditional love. And, that was instilled in me. My parents and, family, I owe them, all of my success, essentially. And I'll never be able to pay my parents back. So I'm just going to try and pay it forward, is sort of my motto. And growing up, my parents showed their kids unconditional love. They were a prime example of what, just humble, blue-collar, family-oriented, loyal individuals, and instilled a lot of great values in me that, I carry with me to this day. And their support undoubtedly has allowed me, to get to the place I am, and continue to strive and aspire to be even better. When I made the transition to get into college coaching, I was taking a job that didn't pay anything. And I was essentially leaving behind a job that, paid pretty well. And when I broke the news to them that, I was going to be moving 3 hours away from home, taking a job that was a volunteer position, and kind of finding some odds and ends jobs to support myself financially, they fed my dreams and not their fears, right? And I think that was huge because, many parents could have viewed it as such a risk and not been as supportive, whereas my parents were nothing but supportive. And I'm, forever grateful to them for that. and I think at the end of the day, my mom and dad have been, the biggest role models and influences I've had in my life, in addition to some of the coaches I had growing up, as well as, some of the coaches that I've worked for thus far in my career.
Yes, parents are very key towards being a blessing in a child's life, planting the right seeds, and also being present. And your parents were always present at the football games, basketball games, track and field, and of course, the graduation ceremonies where the pictures are still inside your house and the memories are still in your mind and in your hearts of the day you got to achieve greatness. The one thing I really learned about you is this: the day you became a father and the day you became a husband to a family, you're a man who provides, protects, profess, and of course, you're a man who's gonna make sure things are done the right way, like how your parents done the right way.
Well, I had great models, again, going back to my parents. And the three things I've wanted most from life, is a family, right? A wife, kids, and a career coaching college basketball. And, I'm at that point now where I'm fortunate and blessed to gotten to the point where all three of those things are working, within my life, and parts of my life. I'm beyond blessed and am hopeful I can be half the parents, that my parents were, and, have a great wife that, is a superhero. What she does in terms of, she's essentially the rock, of our home, the backbone, the head coach, and I'm just, a guy coming off the bench trying to play his part. So, I'm very grateful, and, happy to have the family that I have the career that I have, and have the people in my life that I have.
Sounds like you're living the dream, sounds like you're living your reality, and more importantly, you're living under one roof. And to have a wife as your rock and all the other things, that's a blessing, and it's very essential towards having a healthy marriage, a happy family. And I also heard the phrase, happy wife, happy life. And, a lot of women wear the aprons, but in this case, your wife wears a title of being a principal at an elementary school where she's also making an impact there with hundreds of kids on a daily basis, and then comes home to her son and gets to nurture and bond with him along with you. My name's Ethan. This interview was with Ricky Hernandez, Johns Hopkins coach. Thank you very much for viewing Lancaster Community Television. Thank you.